Welcome. Thought I would do an advertising broadcast in a way to see if we can get any additional interest in a new league that we're creating. And many of you may follow my channel and some of the others in our league. We do our Fields of Dreams Baseball League, where we have a unique twist and approach to drafting random years, intact teams, and then combining those players that we want to create our roster. And then we've got a keeper league where we keep players, and when we keep them, we get to choose whether they progress forward or backward in their career. It's been a blast. We've had fun with it. We're trying another iteration of that with basketball, and we've been on the back burner here with this football league idea. And what we'd like to do is maybe explain to folks out in the sim community that might be interested in a league like this. So I thought I'd come on today and post something just explaining what we're going to do with this league and see if we can get some other owners. I think we've got 15 owners presently. We'd love to have at least 16 and have four divisions of four teams, but heck, 20, 24, you name it. If we could get those numbers, we'd be really happy as well. So I've got a PowerPoint up here, one slide, and that's it. And this will give you a rundown. There's no detailed constitution written for this league yet, but I thought I'd cover some of the basics of what we're trying to accomplish. Gridiron Dreams Football League. That's the name of it. Got a logo. Played around with AI to get that to, hey, big clue, David Landau here. Played around with the idea to get a logo. I've got that accomplished, right? And the other thing we did is in anticipation and to try to draw interest in the league, we went ahead and drafted the 3 seasons that will be our team pool when we kick off season 1. And this is how it'll go. We ended up with 1974, 1991, and 2010. And here are the rules. Basically, you're going to draft 2 intact teams from football history from those 3 years. And from that, you will create a 50-man roster. We're not going to worry about having active and inactive players. With our baseball league, we found that it's a lot easier just to have, we're using 30-man rosters where you can just have enough coverage. You don't have to worry about weekly moving players up and down because our league moves at a little bit quicker pace than some leagues will. And I'll explain a little bit about that. So owners would draft 2 teams. The next caveat is only one of those teams can come from the same year. So let's say in 1974, I took the Dallas Cowboys. And then when it came my turn to pick and I go for my second team, I can't go back to that same year. I'd have to go to 91 or 2010 to get my team. The other caveat, only one of your 2 teams that you select can be a team that had a winning record. Once you select a winning record team, the other team must be 500 or below. Adds a different twist. No requirement that you even take a winning team. You could choose to take 2 teams that are 500 or below, but only a limit on having one with the winning record. We're still figuring out with the league what we want to do as far as keepers in the next season. And our leagues have a unique twist when it comes to keepers anyway. So we'll probably determine that through the season here. Maybe we'll do a vote, a poll, and figure out we'll keep 20 to 22 keepers into season 2. But when you choose to keep a player, you have to designate whether they will move forward or backward in their career. And you'll do this once, meaning if I've got 1974 and I've got the Cowboys and I take Roger Staubach as a keeper going into season 2, I have to declare, is Staubach going to be moving forward, meaning the next season he'll be 1975 Staubach and then 76, or will I take him backwards and he goes then back to 73 and then 72. So we've had a lot of fun. Oh my God, if there's a guy I was thinking about yesterday and thought, where has Arnold been in the community? Arnold is interested. We'd love to have you in the league, Arnold. Um, this is going to be just a blast because I think football will be very similar to what we've done in baseball. We are in season 3 of our Fields of Dreams baseball. If you're tuning into this channel, you can see some of the broadcasts and learn about it. Having a blast with that. So you get to keep players moving forward. And then in season 2, we would have more random years drawn, and then you'd again following these rules, get to draft two new teams, and from those two teams and your keepers of 20 or 22, you would assemble the 50 that you wanted to keep. No doppelgangers, meaning a player can't be on more than one team. And how we solve for this is if in a draft, if somebody's protected, they're protected, right, in subsequent seasons. But in season one, if there's a player that happened to be, I don't know if we would have somebody on 74. Well, maybe they got traded during the midseason. Whoever drafts a team that has that player on first has the rights to that player. And of course, if they didn't want to put them on the roster, then the next team could choose to do that. I don't know if we have anybody that actually played from 1974 to 91, but in our baseball league, we definitely get some teams that come in there and can have players that end up on different years that are a little closer together. So this is it in a nutshell. I can tell you that if you're interested in this league, you can uh, reach out to me. My email is state, 21 at comcast.net. Again, that's state21 at comcast.net. And I'm also going to drop in let me see how I invite people here on our Field of Dreams Discord. It's actually a Discord for all of our Field of Dreams sims. We talk about baseball, basketball, and now we're wanting to get football going. So I'm going to make a copy of that, drop it right here in the chat for anybody that's not a member of our Discord. Feel free to pop in and you can look around. There's a place called the Baseball Dugout, I think we call it, where it's a voice channel, and typically there's anywhere from 5 people up to 15 at different times talking about various things in our leagues and what's going on. But looking to see if we can get some interest. Would love to have more participants. I think if we get Arnold in, I think we've hit our 16 from the list I have. And let's talk a little bit about the flow. The flow would go this way. We could have, in our baseball league, we basically use our manager files, and every calendar week of real life, we simulate a month of the season, which keeps things moving along pretty well. We slow down a little bit near the postseason time. And many of us in our community, Bernie, Buckshot, MV, myself, and others, Aaron Reed's another one who broadcast a lot of our games, meaning we'll go on our YouTube channels and highlight some different games during that calendar week, which is a simmed month, and you know, broadcast some of the games, and we enjoy tuning in and watching those, and it's worked really well. In the football, we're still debating. I mean, hey, Joe Murdy, welcome. And Joe, I'm double checking. I'm not sure if you're on our football interest list, but if you're interested in getting in at football league, let us know, Joe. But we would be moving along at a similar pace, letting people in a given week, put in their new manager file, getting ready for their opponent. And then when we kick the league off, we would have many of our broadcasters here featuring special games throughout that week to do that. And we're talking around the idea of maybe having the same pace, meaning we would have a month of the season go by in a week. In other words, that might be, 4 games that you would play. So we could, in essence, get a regular season done in about 4 to 5 weeks max, have the playoffs. So it would be like, around every 2 months, we're ready to roll into the next season. We love that idea because it keeps things interesting. And if you're a team that's suffering, like in our baseball league, you don't have to wait 6 months or a full calendar year of a normal sim season to wait to get back into it. And with the way that we do keepers and then, reverse draft order based on finish, it really allows people to go from worst to first and really get back into it and create a lot of interest around managing their team. So hope by doing this little public service announcement here with our league that this will get some folks interested in that maybe haven't, or maybe they've just followed along casually. Maybe you're more of a football fan. I'm also going to ask if Clue, if you're on here, let me know if you would like to come on and chat a little bit, because Clue and I are the commissioners in our Fields of Dreams simulation leagues, and I don't know if he's willing or has the ability to come on now and chat a little bit with me. And people, if you're coming in here, you can ask any questions you like, and we can provide as much information as we have. See if he's see if he wants to join me. And Arnold, love to have you in the league. Love to have you in this league and any of the other leagues we're running. What's interesting is we're also just started our Court Dreams basketball league that's following this same flow, and we've got 14 teams in that league. So we found that this is just a way to celebrate all-time greats across history in a certain sport, and it has a hey Carlos, welcome. Carlos also dedicated to the football league. Glad you're here. Just doing a public service announcement, Carlos, to see if we can drum up some more interest for folks that might be wanting to enjoy a league like this. But it's a cool way to bring in players from a variety of seasons across football history and get to learn a little bit about history, have some fun, and a unique approach to an all-time league. So I'm going to call Clue in right here. Ring, ring.
Hello, hello.
Well, welcome aboard. We have Big Clue with us today, and hey, welcome in to join me on this. But anything you'd like to add that I might have missed that helps highlight kind of the approach of the league?
No, I think the main thing is the draft. People are putting together a 50 player roster made up of the two teams that they're going to draft. One is a above 500 record, one is 500 and below, and they have to be from separate years. And we're only using the 3 years that you've given in the draft. It's really that simple. And then we'll play out and sim the season and do the playoffs, and then we kind of rinse and repeat on a little bit smaller scale season after season. So it's been a
Love it.
blast with the baseball. We just started the basketball, and I think the football is going to round it out to even a more robust league. So you don't have to be in the other leagues if you're interested in this one only, or you just want to get your beak wet, as Steve says, with one. Try it out, see if it's for you. We're happy to have anyone who wants to come and likes football, wants to see what it's about.
And I would add the other thing I didn't put on here is yes, trading is allowed, and it's pretty hilarious in our basketball or baseball league. Is sometimes there'll be a flurry of trading right up until the deadline, and some people trade a lot, some a little, and some not at all. But we allow trading, and that's fun. And we allow trading for equal number of players, meaning a 1-for-1 or a 2-for-2, 3-for-3, whatever. And that adds a fun element to be able to build your roster. A lot of social camaraderie amongst the league as we've been getting into the different seasons of baseball and then looking at adding into other sports. So really looking forward to this one because I think this, like baseball, would be a very good league with the action PC game to broadcast, meaning, there's a good flow to the video chalkboard this year with some of the enhancements and doing that. And hey, welcome in, Dwayne. That it really lends itself to having an entertaining broadcast for the game that's being featured.
Completely agree. Completely agree. They're fun to watch. The baseball ones are fun to watch. We're just getting started with broadcasts for the basketball, and I think football will be another one that's, of course, football is probably the sport best adapted for television. So,
Yeah, definitely, right? Yeah, stop and start one play at a time, and chalkboard. I've been playing around with it. I've got the game since like a week ago, and just last night I played a little bit trying to get the settings down. I really do like that they've taken the chalkboard and smoothed it out. So I think it could be really fun. So
is the new version still on sale, Steve?
I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows right now. If
Yeah, but you don't have to own the game to play in the league,
yeah,
and you don't have to own all the seasons to play in the league.
correct.
Uh, doesn't hurt.
Hell,
We think it's
we
fun, but
we recommend it. The other thing is we've been talking around. I'm not opposed to having players like if two people have a matchup and they want to knock one of their games out head to head and have some fun doing that. I think we've got to kind of figure out pacing, right? We don't have time for everybody to play every game head to head every week and give them a week in between because we're trying to get through basically a month of a regular season in a calendar week. That flow has worked really well for baseball. So it's more of a probably conducive to maybe a manager file and not about the week to week you coaching the team, but you being more of an owner and managing a roster assembly and then getting ready for the who you're going to keep and researching that is a lot of fun. Then who you're going to go. Arnold says he's a rookie in a league. Hey, everybody that's in the leagues we've been doing now was a rookie at one point and recently for some of them. So we're learning as we go together.
very much so.
But
MV's been in how many leagues, and he still acts like a rookie. So you're good.
yeah, exactly. And I know MV will give this the same attention. I know he's watching the Manchester United game right now.
Yeah.
They're playing. He's a soccer fan or football as they call it. But yeah, we'll have some a lot of fun along the way with this. So it more than focusing on each game as some replay seasons do, where you're taking 17 weeks of a regular season and playing that. This one will move a little quicker, but the goal is more around assembling the team, getting your manager set up, and then watching that team as it moves forward into next year's with you deciding who your keepers are going to be, what where do you draft, and strategizing around, wow, what's a good 500 or below team that I could go grab as my second team to augment maybe a team that you draft that's got a winning record and better players, and then who do you keep um, going forward season to season? And one player in a given season, if you've got a player from 1974, maybe keeping them, they suffer in going forward or backward, and you got to make sure: do I keep this person on my roster, knowing that they only have a bad year next year, but they're going to be great and take one of my slots? And it's really added a ton of strategy to our baseball league. So
Yeah, lots of different layers of strategy, and the decisions on the surface are simple, and yet your choices are multitudinous. So
multitude, right? And you can let the computer run everything and run your team for you. It doesn't. We've got some owners that are like that in baseball. We've got others that get in there and figure out the action game and how they're going to set up instructions for each player in their manager file. We have some that are somewhere in between. So you can be as involved or not as involved as you'd like, other than letting us know you want to be in the league, your team name, and then when it's your turn to draft, pick your teams and then assemble your roster. Aside from that, throughout the season, if you don't want to be a hands-on type of manager, that's fully fine. Let the computer run it for you.
yeah, very excited. So please join the Discord. Hit one of us up, or anyone. Ask any questions you got. We're happy to explain how
Yeah,
this works. We just want, even if you just want to come in and watch for a season before, if
yep.
you're not sure, that's fine too. Yeah, love to have you.
Love to have you there. And Arnold, I don't know if you're part of our Discord. I haven't checked our Field of Dreams sim or whatever. I think you might be. I don't know how I'd check, but I think I should be smarter than that to figure out who all the members are. Show member list.
I think Arnold might be part of McGreevy, but maybe not ours. I don't remember. I've got him. I can send him an invite.
Yeah, send Arnold an invite to directly so he can get in here. But yeah, he might have been over on Beatles on the McGreevy one, but I don't know if he's in on our Field of Dreams Sim League. So let's get him in there, and I'll get his name on the list as an owner and uh, welcome in as a rookie. Yeah, Joe's mentioning that he did a 4-for-4 trade at the end of season 2. That might be the record, right? In our baseball, 4 players for 4 players.
4 players is the record, yeah, for a trade. So four
Yep.
for four.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to end the broadcast because this was just a public service announcement here for anybody interested in joining the league. I'm going to go back to the description of the video here and also put in the link to the Discord and a little bit of an explanation to drop there. So if somebody's watching later, or I think sometimes the live chat takes a while before it's available for people when they come back and view something. I want to make sure they've got the information there.
Arnold, we've sent your invite, sir. Check your Discord.
Yeah, some of us are eager to go. It's like we've been talking about this for several weeks. We got enough interest, 14 of us, to get the basketball going to try to figure out how we could do the basketball. But I think football, just like our baseball league, it lends itself to the broadcast being highlighted to be a little bit better. And it's fun, right? And you think about some of the strategy involved if you have to draft an all-time team player by player. But with this, it's really just 2 rounds of the initial draft, meaning here's the 3 seasons, here's the conditions of the 2 teams you got to pick, and you draft 2 teams, and then we'll give you several days after our draft is over to look at those 2 teams and then figure out, hey, out of them, who are your 50 going to be, right? So takes a little bit of the tedious approach to player by player selection out of the way, and
Not a
it'll be
big
fun.
time commitment.
Not a big time commitment. Yeah. So with that, uh, I'm gonna run. Yeah, you bet, Arnold. Glad to have you. And I will go back as soon as I end this here in about 10, 15 seconds and post that information on the description and reach out if you'd like to be part of this league. And